Welcome everyone to this conversation recorded especially for Voice for Nature, Nature Bar at the New York Times Climate Hub. I am Farwiza and I'm so happy to be speaking to two very special guests to learn all about their shared love for the natural world, a passion that I too share. So it's with my great pleasure to introduce Richard and Sam Branson. Hello to both of you.
Nice, always good to see you again.
Hi, Farwiza.
I have a whole lot of questions for both of you, but I want to start with you, Richard. Richard, your deep love for nature and your sense of stewardship is evident in so many platforms and initiatives that you have inspired. You created and you joined over the years, from Carbon War Room to Ocean Unite, from the Bee Team to your own conservation efforts on the Necker Island and in Ulu Sabah. Are these values inspired you or imparted to you as a child? Can you tell us more about the story on how you nurtured this love for nature?
I was lucky enough to be brought up in the countryside, in a tiny little village, and I would play outside in the countryside every day, and fell in love with the countryside. I was never somebody that felt comfortable in a town. I'd go to a town to, find my lady or make a bit of money in order to then get back and get back to nature. So I was lucky, I think, to sort of be in touch with nature from a very young age, and I'm very lucky to be very much in touch with nature at a slightly older age.
So what did you actually do to impart this love of nature to your children, to your own children, to Holly and Sam?
I think you'll have to ask Sam that. I know there was one time that we were in Kenya when I met this fascinating man called Jake Greaves Cook, and Sam was with me, and he said that the great migration that went through Tanzania into Kenya into the Mara was being stifled because of fencing going up, and he suggested that we get together a group of people to work with the Maasai to stop them putting fences up, but create beautiful reserves where their kids could come and work, and that's what we did. And Sam headed off into the countryside with a wonderful man called Carl to look for the right spot, they found the right spot in the most beautiful spot in Africa, I think. But Sam, tell us more.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think a lot of my passion for the natural world comes from my parents, and particularly my dad. I was, as you asked, I was thinking of this memory that's so vivid for me. I remember being in the BVI and walking out onto the balcony with Dad when I was a kid, and him looking out at the view and just going, "Isn't that just the most beautiful sight you've ever seen?" And I remember as a kid, I mean, I didn't take it for granted, but it's the environment I was brought up in, and I remember thinking, wow, I really want to look at the world like that. And so it's definitely, I think passion is contagious, and Dad's always been passionate about nature and the environment. And luckily in our lives, my sister and our lives, we've been able to travel around the world and experience the beautiful diversity of our gorgeous planet. And I think when you have a relationship to something, you care about it. And it's the same in between humans. And so the more of a relationship you have with nature, the more that you're inclined to want to protect it. And the thing that really solidified it all for me was when I was 23, I went to the Arctic on a 3-month expedition to raise awareness of climate change. And I was unplugged from the modern world, out in nature, in the most harsh, brutal and beautiful environment I've ever been in. And that definitely gave me a deep connection to the natural world, and tuning into the subtle changes, you know, just even a slither of color in the sky that was different became the biggest change in one's day. So yeah, I think I've been lucky enough to experience nature, and also I think we are nature. You know, there's a beautiful thing around indigenous communities where they don't have a word for nature. It's just the environment of which we are part of, and I think that's a really nice lens to look at it.